Good morning everyone, welcome back to the channel. Don't forget, if you haven't already subscribed, hit the sub button, leave a like in the video, comment down below. All that kind of stuff all helps the channel. So today, what are we doing? Well, cab on the 3650. Bit of work to do on it. Want to just get some of the preparations done for getting the cab lifted back onto the tractor. Yeah, what am I doing? Let's have a look at it. That's probably the easiest way rather than trying to explain and then show you. Cab itself, very little rust on it. Coming from France, obviously don't get a lot of rain in the part of France that this tractor was, so very little rust on it, and I want to keep it that way. So just give it a big cleaning down yesterday, and I put a coat of etch primer on it, then come along with some Silage. And I'm just going to put a blast of satin black paint on it now, just to kind of seal on top of the Silage, and hopefully it should just stop it from rusting at all. That's the plan with it anyway, so we'll see how it works out. Also have a little bit of painting to do inside on the floor, where in the footwell there's a little bit of steel that sticks out, and I want to paint that as well, so you'll see that as well. So I'm just gonna, I'll set the camera up here somehow, and you'll see a little bit of the painting going on just as I apply some of the paint to it, and yeah, we'll take it from there. Alright, so I'm going to do a bit of a voiceover on this part of the video as well. A couple of parts of this video that I'm going to do voiceovers on. Now, so we're up and running with the paint, so you might notice me now. I messed around with the gun, I think, a little bit, just to try and get it. There we go. I'm just changing some of the settings, trying to get a little bit more paint coming out than what there is. And just whatever way the light is reflecting, it's the light from outside, whatever way it's reflecting on the cab, doesn't look like there's that much paint going on with the gun, but there's a lot of paint going on. Every stroke there's a lot of paint coming out, but yeah, look at it. You can see there it's covering fairly well. In any case, I give it 2 coats. So this is the first coat, ground, then I do the other side, and I come back around and then do a second coat on this, and a second coat then on the far side. Now this done, and it come out really well. Now it is matte. It's matte black, which means that it's not supposed to be that shiny, but there is a little bit of a shine off it, but I'm not that worried about that. It will fade down, I would say, fairly quickly. And look, all this is just a protectant that if you're driving along and there's stones or off the road, maybe stones chipping down or chipping onto it or heading off it, that it's not getting down to the steel. I mentioned there I put a black etch primer on first. I then put some stone chip on, which is, it's kind of finishes almost like in a rubbery finish. So I put a coating of that on it, and then obviously coming along then with the paint on top. So it's got quite a good coating, so if any stones come out or go to hit it, it's not going to do it any harm. If anything, all that will damage or chip will be this outer coat of paint, which I wouldn't be that worried about. It's the stone chip underneath really is the main protectant. So yeah, nice to get back to the 3650. We haven't gotten very much done to it in the last 3 weeks really, with everything that's been going on with preparation, and then walking at the silage, getting that done and dusted. Then we were into the hay and getting that done. We had a hair test to do. We had fertilizer to go out on the silage ground, slurry to go out on the silage ground, spraying to be done on some of the crops, moving cattle. There's been just a constant amount of work on the last 3 weeks, and we haven't been able to get really at it at all. But I got a few hours one day that I got to do this here, and it was just good to get this done. I've since got a little bit more done on the inside of the tractor as well, and next week I will be doing a video on the interior. I'm going to be fitting the interior on it, so I'm excited to show you that. So I'm going to be pushing over the 3650 over the next few weeks, and hopefully we'll get it done. I think there's a lot of work on these tractors when you start into them. There's a lot of work on them, but it's the kind of work that once you have it done, it's going to always be done. It's just a little footwell. There's this bit of steel, you can see it. The mark kind of goes around it, and it always gets, your boot always rubs off it and takes the paint off it. So again, I put edge primer on it. I'm just putting a blast of the matte black on it as well. Look, when you're using the tractor, it's going to get rubbed off again, but at least there's a fresh coat of paint on it and it freshens it all up. So now anyway, on to the next part of the video, which is spraying. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So today's video, we are out in our winter wheat, trying to get the final spray done on that, the head spray if you like, and it's the first time I've been happening in a couple of weeks, so it's an opportunity for me now just to see how it's doing, and it's doing nicely at this stage now. The head's all well established on it, starting to change colour a little bit, and yeah, doing very nicely. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the drone up. I'll kind of get a little bit of a fly over of the crop and give you an idea of how it's doing, and yeah, we'll come back then a little bit later. Also, don't forget, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, hit the sub button, leave a like on the video, comment down below, do all those things. I'll be very happy. Alright, so a little bit of a drone flyover on the winter wheat, and it just looking down at it from a height gives you good perspective of how it's done, and this is done really well. You might remember there was parts of it was quite patchy back in the springtime, and it has tillered out really well and filled up a lot of the gaps. In fact, a lot of the gaps, and it likes this field here, there was some patches in it, and it's just completely filled it in. Now the worst place you can see is down here on top of this hill, and it has just as we're coming up to it now, it has more or less all filled in. There was very little wheat there at all, but it has grown from somewhere, and it has filled up very nicely. So yeah, going to be very interested to see how this crop does. Won't be ready until probably sometime around the end of July, early August, and yeah, be looking forward to just seeing how it does. I love wheat. We haven't grown wheat in a couple of years now, so it's nice to be growing a little bit again, and yeah, we'll see how it all does. Yeah, so that's really it, just having a quick look around on it and flying back to the tractor. The mower's back on. We're back dropping some grass, and this is for hay. We're dropping a few fields now this evening, Saturday evening. Forecast is showing to be good all week. Is it right? Who knows? But we're going to have to go with the forecast and see what happens. It's so good up until next Friday, next Saturday. Some good sunshine. Some of the days might be a little overcast, but overall showing dry. So what we've done is we've cut 2 fields at the minute. Field I'm in, both fields are roughly they're roughly 4.5 acres in size. They're not massive. I'm cutting this one here. It's not a huge crop. It's a nice crop, we'd call it. It's lovely, shot out, stemmy kind of grass, and it should save easily enough, I think. But lots of green in it as well, so it should make some really nice hay. So I'm getting this dropped down. Dad then is away in the 6.4, and he is the mountain mower on, and he's dropping another field of similar size. That field, I think the grass, according to him, is a little bit heavier than this. So yeah, we'll see how it works out. So this field should come in a bit quicker. I've got the spreading bins all of this mower, which Dad will be just dropping it in rows behind the tractor. So yeah, I'm laying it, it's not 100% flat on the ground, but it does lay it out fairly nicely for it to dry it out. So yeah, so far so good. I'm a little over halfway through this field and making good progress. Mower is working well. This is now season number, it's in its third season, if you like. The first year we had it done, didn't do the first cut silage, but it done most of the hay and everything else. So yeah, this is technically season number 3, and yeah, mowing very well, very happy with it. Absolutely love using it. Couldn't be happier. We've got some mowers. You know, everybody has their own preferences in mowers, and some mowers have got pluses and minuses to others, but for me, I think the Carib Vernon make the best mower on the market, bar none. So yeah, super mower. A couple of things just before I put the drone up to get a bit of footage. I want to give a shout out to two things. First is Finnegan's Farm YouTube channel. So Finnegan's Farm are based in next county over from us here in Meath, just outside of Navan, I believe, and they are, I'll just stop. They are doing up 2 3650s at the minute. A bunch of young mechanics working at them, and with the help of some older mechanics as well, and doing a really good job on them. They're stripping them down, and they're going to do them all mechanically. They're going to do all the cosmetics on them, and they're going to have 2 pristine 3650s. It's a good story where they've purchased one. They had a 3650 many years ago, or a couple of them, and one of the ones that they owned before then came up for sale, and they've purchased it as well, and they're going to do the 2 of them at the one time. So great stuff. Get over there and give them a subscribe. Check out their videos, and throw a comment in the comment section if you've come over from the channel. Let them know where you've come from. So yeah, Finnegan's Farm, get over, check them out and see what you think. The other company I want to give a plug to is a company called Nut Parts. So basically, Nut Parts is a website, a free online website, where you can post tractors, parts that you have, or machinery or whatnot, and put them up for people to see. Great idea. Basically, it's just say you have some parts or bits and pieces for machinery that you don't need, or maybe that you don't have anymore. You've sold the machinery on and you still have some parts there. You could list those parts for sale, and somebody who has one of those machines somewhere in Ireland, the UK, then knows where the parts are, that you have them, and they can be sold on. So it's a great idea. Irish website, as I said, and I'll put a link in the description below to the website itself. So Nut Parts is what it's called. You may have heard of it, but it's a great idea, and it'd be very nice to see it getting up and running in a larger scale, and very beneficial to everybody in the agricultural world. That if you have a machine that, especially an older machine, and something happens, or you need a part maybe that's hard to locate, and somebody the other end of the country or over in the UK has it for sale, and it's up there, you'll be able to find it. So great idea, and it's something I think that would be beneficial to us all if it caught on and we all started using it. So yeah, Nut Parts, link in the description below. So just like that, the hay merry-go-round has started again. That's it for today's video. Let's see how we get on during the week. Be more updates then. Don't forget, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, hit the sub button, leave a like in the video, comment down below. See you during the week.